General Arora, it's a fundamental question. Why should the armed forces have a legal shield when it comes to sexual crimes against women?
Right. If you're talking about sexual crimes committed in states where the army is operating under AFSPA, let me tell you that there are some crimes which are committed when an operation is not going on.
Yeah, of course.
These are soldiers who perhaps commit a rape. They are investigated. There is no protection given to them during these circumstances. There are very few cases, and seldom does it happen, that in an operation they have entered a house, they have apprehended some people and then indulged in rape.
I'm just quoting to you from Justice Verma's report.
Yes.
That they have found that there is impunity for systematic or isolated sexual violence in the process of internal security duties that's being legitimized by AFSPA, which is in force in large parts of the country. This is from Justice Verma's report.
See,
have they misunderstood?
I have considerable experience of operating in disturbed areas under this act. I know of at least one case which took place in our area, and that was at a water point where the local villagers would come to draw water, and there was a man placed or two men placed as sentries, and one of them indulged in harassment of a woman, and strict action was taken.
By whom?
By the army.
That's the problem. That's precisely what the Verma committee is saying, please do not do. Please understand, surely it is not the army's case, and I would really be ashamed of being an Indian citizen if the army was to say this on television, that committing sexual harassment, sexual assault or rape of a woman, a civilian woman, could by any chance be in the course of official duty or purported official duty of anyone operating under the special powers of AFSPA. And if it is not, then why is it being tried by court-martial? Why are they not handing over such people to be tried by the ordinary criminal courts where everybody else goes? And that is exactly what Justice Verma has recommended. Why is the army resisting? Is the morale of the forces operating under AFSPA more important than the dignity and respect for women in this country?
I didn't finish.
Please carry on.
Yes. You know, when such a case happens, it is between the army and the court to decide who will try. And more often than not, rape cases are handed over to the courts to try, not the army. But at the same time, I would say, if the army elects to try, the justice is much faster.
No, but there's a principle here.
Yes.
Shouldn't civilian law apply when it comes to crimes against women?
That rape trial is held under civilian law.
But clearly the figures and on the ground show the complete opposite.
No. AFSPA doesn't have a criminal procedure code. It just provides for 4 immunities.
Yes,
it doesn't provide for a trial.
Let's talk about facts. Let's not talk about things which are just being told to us on a TV show. I filed an RTI application last year asking for how many sanctions for prosecution were granted by the Ministry of Defence, which is the competent authority for the Indian Army, from 1989 to 2011 for any serious crime committed in Jammu and Kashmir. They said, and this is from the Ministry of Defence, the figures were, they received 44 requests for grant of sanction, 33 requests for grant of sanction have been rejected, 11 requests for sanction are pending. The arithmetic is simple. The answer to how many sanction for prosecution was granted is nil. The manner in which the immunity provided under Section 6
is misused.
Of AFSPA is, it's not misuse, it's the only way it's ever been used. So we can't say that there are some good uses of it.
Okay, I want to take this to Mr. Chandan Mitra, who has to leave in the next few minutes. Mr. Mitra, this is a very complicated debate. It's a complex one.
Can I just say one thing to Mr. Mitra?
Yeah.
Mr. Mitra said in the earlier part, he does not agree there should be 2 categories of citizens. So if there shouldn't be 2 categories of citizens,
does that apply to the army
why
as well?
Privilege the armed forces for sexual crimes?
No, you see, let's not mix up issues. And I think as far as AFSPA is concerned, I think it should be really imposed in the rarest of rare cases. And therefore, I think that, you see, there's sometimes a lot of myth-making that goes on about the army and sexual offences being carried out. You saw the Shopian incident in Jammu and Kashmir, the Conan Poshpora case that happened before that. Nidhi, you remember very well kind of what happened in those days. And it is not unusual to have false charges leveled. So I think we have to be careful. I am not rejecting Justice Verma's idea at all. I think it definitely merits very detailed consideration. And I think it has been clarified that the trials are under civilian law. And I think there is a good case to hand over all rape and women's harassment related charges to civilian courts. But that does not mean that every case is absolutely black and white or needs to be, and alleged crimes are committed by army people and on a random basis. Sensitizing the army and sensitizing the police is part of this entire process. I think we need a further and wider debate on this entire issue.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.